What's good, peeps? It's your boy Eduard Todor. Welcome back to an episode of Storytime Sunday. In this episode, we'll be talking about fights. Alright, I don't, here let me just put a disclaimer, I don't promote violence. I'm not telling anyone to go out and fight. This is just what happened to me and my experiences. Now, in my opinion, do I believe there's a time and a place to fight? I definitely do, okay? And let me explain, alright? So, when I was really young, I came to New Zealand at 9 years old. I went to a school that had really, really diverse, like, ethnicities. There were Tongans, there were Samoans, there were Maori, there were Kiwis, New Zealand, like, white New Zealanders. There were, I guess there were a couple Europeans. It's just like a huge, like, Asian kids. Like, there were a lot of different people, type of kids, and I kind of stuck out a little bit because I had an accent. I was Romanian. I couldn't really, like, the culture was very different. I wasn't that good at rugby, which was another thing, right? All this stuff will eventually lead to bullying, right? Like, just the nature of kids, man. That's just the nature of kids. People pick on differences, especially when they're really young. They don't really understand that everyone's just the same. So I dealt with a lot of bullying as a kid. Now, essentially what happened is, because of this, I developed anger issues, okay? So that was kind of like my self-defense mechanism. As soon as someone would do anything or start shit, I would get really, really pissed off. I would just, like, lose everything and just start swinging, okay? Now, I wasn't good. I wasn't, like, I didn't take martial arts back then. I didn't have any sort of skills. I would just swing. Like, I didn't care. At that moment when I got angry, I didn't care what would happen to me. I wasn't scared of getting punched. I was just in, right? So there were a lot of instances where I had a lot of fights in school. One of my main bullies, actually, one time he kicked a ball and by accident hit me in the face, okay? And, like, I wasn't even in the game or whatever. I was just hanging around and the ball ran and just hit me straight in the face, and it was like a really big impact. Like, I felt, like the impact of the ball, boom, right? Like, it wasn't like just like, oh yeah. And I look over and he's laughing, right? Now, if he said sorry, if he, whatever, but this guy had a history of bullying me, so I lost my shit immediately, right? So I just run at him. I start swinging. I don't remember what happens. We just swing for a bit, and then there was a teacher right there, and he comes over and he's like, stop, and he's putting his hands over us like this, right? So we're like on either side. So let's say I was here, the guy was here. He's trying to put his hands over us to, like, kind of stop us, right? And even though the teacher was there, I'm throwing uppercuts underneath the teacher's hand, like to the stomach and stuff. And I just remember looking at the bully guy, and he, like, as soon as once we actually got broken up, he was crying. So I was like, that's right, I felt really, really good. Getting back at a bully like that is pretty good. Now, again, I wouldn't just do this stuff on random people. It was usually like there had to be a reason for it, and if he said sorry, if he apologized or whatever, I wouldn't probably have had a problem. But there was a lot of this. There was a lot of name calling. I remember having kids running around, just pissing me off, and then I wasn't as fast as them. Right? I was never the fastest sprinter. Okay, like that's for sure. I was athletic, but I could do this long distance, but not sprinting was not my thing, and yeah, they would always, like, call me names and run away and shit like that, right? Another one was, this one wasn't really a bully. Me and this dude had a beef. Like, I don't know what happened again. This was like some kids stuff. Like, I don't remember why we had a disagreement, and this guy was, like, a pretty solid, like, he wasn't a very tall dude, but he was, like, some pretty solid Tongan dude. Like, for his age, he was pretty solid, and he was, like, really quick, and we played rugby, and I knew he was a solid dude, and I was like, that's it, we're taking it outside. And this one wasn't even an anger one. I was like, I needed to prove myself, right? Because otherwise, they would keep picking on me, and that was my thing. Like, I don't think violence is the answer, but when you're getting bullied, right? If you go to this teacher, what's gonna happen? What do you think's gonna happen? What's the bully gonna say? Oh, you told on me. What a little scrub. And then after school, he'll beat you up again, right? So honestly, I don't think you have to solve that shit yourself. Especially as a guy, you have to deal with it yourself, when it happens. And that's just my philosophy. But anyway, so we went outside, and I remember trying to kick him, right? Because my dad used to be a, like, taekwondo and kickboxing competitor. So I had seen him do kicks, but I never practiced. I tried to kick him, and it obviously failed. Like, I hit him, but it was like, it didn't do anything, so everyone laughed, and that pissed me off even more. We started swinging, we just started going at it. I don't remember what happened. We were probably just swinging arms like this, and hitting and missing, and hitting and missing. I just remember going back and forth, back and forth. I remember taking a couple punches, giving a couple punches, and then the teacher came again, broke us up. But what I do remember from that one was, because we had planned, it wasn't like a you know, like, oh, out of anger or whatever. We're like, okay, we're doing this lunchtime. If you have a beef, let's go, right? Because we had done that, he actually won. I won, you know, he won my respect and I won his respect, because as soon as the teacher broke us up, we shook hands. Like, I remember that vividly, you know. So people say violence isn't the answer. Sometimes it is. I think, you know, sometimes you need to have that, especially, as I said, like, I wouldn't fight random people as an adult. But as kids, it's a very different thing, because kids don't really understand the dynamic, you know. They don't understand that you can be, like, cool, you know, you can be friends and whatever. Like, sometimes there's a beef, especially between boys. I feel like sometimes you just have to get that over with. I don't know. Again, I'm not encouraging anyone to do this, but this is how I solved my bullying issues, so it worked for me, all right? And I remember shaking hands after. The teacher didn't actually see it, and he's like, okay, I want you guys to shake hands right now. And he's like, we just did. Like, we're cool, you know? And then we actually never had beef after that. He taught me, the guy after that fight, he taught me how to, like, draw, like, graffiti and shit like that. We actually became kind of good friends, so that was another one. You know, I had so many stories. And I've lost, like, I wasn't like, you know, I got beaten up, you know. It's not like I'm saying that I was this big brawler or whatever. I got beaten up sometimes, you know. Actually, the one time I lost badly was, a dude used, like, grappling, which is what I do now. So it's kind of funny that happened, you know. I walked up to him, we had some issue again. He was saying something to me, he was maybe calling me names, I don't remember. And I was like, okay, that's it, let's finish it right here, right? So I walk up to him, and he just he steps to the side and just hip throws me. So if you know judo, he basically just trips and throws me to the ground, punches me in the face, and runs, you know. And that was like the time where I was like, and I wasn't gonna be able to catch him, because as I said, I wasn't the fastest sprinter. So I was like, it was the worst feeling ever, because you can't do anything. You're just, your mouth is all swollen because you get punched in the mouth, and you're sitting there and, like, crying, right? And the dude can still talk shit to you, and you know, that's happened. You know, that happened. Another one, this one was retarded. This one was stupid. I don't even know why I did this. Actually, I was friends with this guy, so I don't remember what happened, but he was telling some, again, it's always like calling names and pushing me around or something along those lines. And I was like, stop doing that. And I walked up and stopped doing that, and he grabbed my hands, right? I don't know what he was planning, but he wouldn't let go of my hands. So I don't even think. I just went boom, headbutt. And the thing is, right, if you know anything about headbutts, you really should aim for the mouth or for the nose, like the soft spots. I went forehead to forehead. So it hurt me as much as it hurt him, right? So I went forehead to forehead. And because he wasn't expecting it, it was such a mad impact, he started crying straight away. He, like, dropped down and started crying. And I just ran over to the bathroom and, like, put cold water on my head so it doesn't swell up. But I was fine, you know, because I could, like, anticipate the pain. But, like, there were so many things like that. And then the thing is, as I got older, you know, this was like, I was probably 10 years old when all this stuff happened. Like, this all happened in the span of, like, a year or two, right? And as I got older, you know, people started, like, kids started growing up, and the bullying kind of stopped. And if there was bullying, it was just like, oh, whatever, that guy's an idiot, you know, oh, that guy's a, you know, big piece of shit, whatever. It was never like, oh, pushing around, like, let me steal your money. Like, it wasn't that type of bullying later on, right? So I didn't really have a reason to be physical, because as I said, I wouldn't just be physical out of no reason. It would have to be like, someone would have to overstep their boundaries, and I would have to be like, if I don't do something right now, they're going to keep doing this because they're going to realize I'm a weak target, right? As I got older, you know, the bullying kind of stopped. And so my anger issues actually went away, right? I didn't work on them. I didn't go to a therapy thing. I didn't do anything, but just because there was no reason for me to get angry like that, they went away. So now I'm, like, really, really chill. like you'll never see me really get angry in traffic. Like I'm pretty chill. Like I'm probably as chill as they come. I'm always like, so like, for example, if at a party someone's like too drunk and they're trying to talk shit, I'm like, nah bro, we're cool. I'm actually gonna leave around. Like I never like instigate shit. I actually try to be as you know, stay away from fights and from anything like that as much as I can. And as I got older, that the anger issues went away. But what I realized, especially kind of towards the age of 16, 17, was because I didn't have the self-defense mechanism now, I had no way to like deal with anything physical, right? Because if someone pushed me, I wouldn't get angry. So I wasn't able to like do anything. And I realized that I started getting really, really scared of the idea of a physical confrontation as I got older, because of all my past experience and knowing that it can happen at any moment, right? Like shit could go down and I might not be ready, and I know I'm not going to get angry, and I know I'm not going to be able to just start swinging. So like I started getting really, really scared of the idea of like having a fight with someone, right? And around the age of 16, 17, I was like, no, I have to start martial arts, because this is a really big area of like kind of almost like a phobia, like an anxiety issue. Like I know I'm scared of this area, and I want to feel comfortable walking down the street at night. You know, I want to feel comfortable walking around the city. If someone's drunk and has a problem, I want to be able to defend myself, and you know, not have 2 second thoughts about it, right? Like I don't want to have to like have anxiety, and you know, I want to be comfortable. I want to be like, no, you're gonna sit your ass down, and I'm gonna walk away, right? I'm gonna walk away. You're gonna do right. It's less about the fight itself. It's more about being able to assert yourself in that position. And that's why I started martial arts. That's why I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's why I started grappling. And I remember for the first like year of training, I would go to training and I'd have mad anxiety, and I was just like, oh man, I'm gonna get beaten up. You know, I'm gonna get my ass kicked today. But it was like, I know this is uncomfortable, and I know I need to keep doing it, because that's the only way I'm gonna get comfortable. I know this, right? So I kept doing it. I kept going, and then before you know it, I'm actually getting really good. And before you know it, like big dudes that come into the gym like brand new, and I can just deal with them really easily, right? Because in jiu-jitsu, when we spar, we go 100%, okay? We don't punch and stuff, like it's grappling based, so it's chokes, arm locks, you know, throws, that kind of thing. So like if you know, you can put someone out, is what I'm saying. But like we don't like, we're not like, it's not like in kickboxing where you're doing technical sparring most of the time, and you know, you're sparring 100% of the time, like 100% all the time. And you know, a big rugby dude comes in the gym, and he's kind of like has a bit of an issue, and now all of a sudden I can deal with him. Like I feel like it's not a big deal because he doesn't know what he's doing. And so that started giving me confidence, and the more I did it, the better I got, and the more confident I got. And now, like, I can honestly say, like, I'm pretty comfortable with the idea of a physical altercation, and I don't look for them. I don't. But you know, now if I'm walking around and someone, you know, if I'm at a party and someone's like, dude, that's my girl, blah blah, or some shit like that, right? It's never. Then I can be like, look, man, misunderstanding. Let's deal with this, like you know, man to man. Like let's talk it out. Let's not, you know. I don't have to be like, oh, sorry, bro, sorry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can stand my ground when it needs to be you know, when I need to stand my ground. And that was my biggest issue, you know, before I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So now you kind of know that, you know, now you know why I do martial arts and why I'm probably never going to quit, because it really, really kind of formed who I am today. Like, I've only been doing it for 2 years and almost like closer to 3 years, but the difference between what I was like before and what I am now is insane. Like, the confidence that I have, you know, just the self-belief, like the belief in myself that I have now is absolutely awesome. And that's I would recommend martial arts to anyone. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, if you're, you know, look it up. If you, I'll do a later video on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but I absolutely love it. I think it's probably one of the best self-development tools you can have. It helps you in so many different areas in life, you know, just self-belief that you can do your things yourself. You don't need anything else to do it for you, anyone else to do it for you. I absolutely love it. So that's the story time Sunday that I had for today. I probably have a few more fight stories in there that I've missed, but you know, you get the idea. If you did enjoy this video, leave a like. It helps me a lot. I do daily videos, so if you want to see more videos from me, subscribe below. You know, follow me on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. All the links are down below. If you want to support me on Patreon, if you want to hang out on Discord and talk shit and just hang out, You know where to find those links. As always, mad respect, much love, stay lit, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!